I stood at the entrance of the Rosewood estate, watching valets park luxury cars while guests in designer clothes streamed into my cousin Amanda's wedding. My invitation had arrived 2 months late, with no +1 option and a handwritten note. Limited seating. Hope you understand. I understood perfectly. Amanda had always measured worth in status symbols and social climbing. She was marrying Trevor Blackwell, whose family owned Blackwell Technologies, a Fortune 500 tech conglomerate worth $12 billion. This wedding wasn't a celebration. It was a merger announcement. Paya. Amanda rushed over in her reception dress. You made it. I wasn't sure you'd come. Wouldn't miss it, I said. Good. Listen, about the seating, we had to make adjustments. You're at table 22 near the back. We have so many important guests, and Trevor's parents insisted on certain arrangements. She lowered her voice. His father is Richard Blackwell. The Richard Blackwell, CEO of Blackwell Technologies. We had to prioritize seating for business associates and society people. I understand. I knew you would. You've always been practical about these things. She squeezed my arm. And don't feel bad about coming alone. Not everyone finds success in relationships and career. You're doing fine with your computer stuff. My computer stuff was a tech startup I'd founded 6 years ago, now valued at $800 million. I'd built an AI-driven cybersecurity platform that protected 70% of Fortune 500 companies from data breaches. My client list included governments, financial institutions, and, ironically, Blackwell Technologies. But Amanda saw works with computers, and assumed I did basic IT support. She'd never asked for details about my company or the fact that I'd been featured in Forbes, TechCrunch, and the Wall Street Journal. She decided years ago I was the nerdy cousin who was good with computers, and never updated that assessment. The ceremony starts in 20 minutes, Amanda continued. Make yourself comfortable. There's an open bar, enjoy it. No pressure, just relax. She fluttered away to greet more important guests. I made my way to the garden where rows of white chairs faced an elaborate floral arch. The front rows were marked reserved for family and reserved for Blackwell associates. I found a seat in the back row behind a decorative hedge that partially blocked the view. The ceremony was beautiful. Amanda looked radiant. Trevor looked genuinely happy. I watched my aunt and uncle cry in the front row while Trevor's parents, Richard and Catherine Blackwell, sat with practiced dignity, their section filled with executives and business partners. During the reception cocktail hour, I stayed near the edges, nursing champagne. Amanda worked the room like a political candidate, stopping at every important cluster. Trevor's family held court near the bar, surrounded by eager networkers. You must be one of Amanda's relatives, a woman said, appearing beside me. She wore Chanel and judgment in equal measure. I'm Caroline Winters, Trevor's aunt. You look a bit out of place. Are you with the vendor team? I'm Amanda's cousin. Guest, not vendor. Oh. What do you do, dear? I work in tech. How wonderful. Trevor's family is in tech too, real tech. Enterprise solutions, global markets. Not like those little app companies. She sipped her champagne. Are you in support services? IT help desk. Something like that. She patted my arm sympathetically. Well, every field needs support staff. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about it. She drifted away before I could respond. I checked my phone. 3 messages from my CTO about our new government contract, 2 from my head of sales about a major cloud partnership, and 1 from my assistant about next week's board meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats for dinner, the coordinator announced. Build up. Table 22 was in the far back corner, partially hidden behind the DJ booth. My tablemates were Amanda's college roommate's cousin, 2 of Trevor's distant relatives, and several confused-looking people who'd clearly been relegated to social Siberia. The main tables were front and center. Amanda and Trevor's table on a raised platform, surrounded by family and Blackwell Technologies executives. Trevor's parents sat at table 2, flanked by board members and investors. Every table from 1 through 15 radiated carefully calculated importance. Table 22 was where you put people you hoped no one would notice. Dinner service began at the front tables. We watched waiters deliver courses to the VIP section while we waited. After 30 minutes, a waiter finally appeared with our appetizers, apologizing for the delay. At least we're not in the kitchen, Trevor's distant cousin joked weakly. I was halfway through my salad when I noticed the commotion at the main tables. Richard Blackwell was standing looking at his phone with intense focus. He showed the screen to his wife, then to several executives. They all looked shocked. Then Richard started scanning the room, eyes moving systematically from table to table, searching for someone. His gaze swept past the VIP tables, past the family section all the way to the back. And stopped. On me. He said something to Trevor, who looked confused. Amanda joined the conversation, shaking her head. But Richard was already walking toward the back, his wife and two executives following. Every person in the room began turning to watch. The CEO of a $12 billion company doesn't leave the VIP section and walk to table 22 unless something significant is happening. He stopped at our table. Wyatt Chin. Mr. Blackwell, I said, standing. I didn't realize you'd be here. You didn't? He looked genuinely confused. This is your cousin's wedding. Of course I'm here. The question is, why are you seated back here instead of at the head table where you belong? The entire reception had gone silent. 300 guests stared at us. There must be some mistake, Richard continued, loud enough for his voice to carry. Maya, I apologize. If I'd known you were attending, I would have insisted on proper seating. Catherine, this is Maya Chin, founder and CEO of Chin Security Systems. Catherine Blackwell's eyes widened. The Chin Security Systems? Richard, she's been protecting our infrastructure for 3 years. For years, I said quietly. We started with your financial services division, then expanded to your entire global network. Richard turned to address the room, his CEO presence commanding attention. For those who don't know, Maya Chin founded one of the most innovative cybersecurity companies in the world. Her AI-driven platform protects 70% of Fortune 500 companies, including Blackwell Technologies. Last month, she prevented what would have been the largest data breach in our company's history. She personally called me at 2 a.m. to alert us and walked my team through the response. Amanda had materialized at the edge of the crowd, face pale. Maya, you never said, you told me you worked with computers. I do work with computers, I said. I just didn't specify that I built a company with 1,200 employees and $800 million in valuation. $800 million? Caroline Winters had pushed forward. But you said you worked in tech support. I said, something like that, when you assumed I was support staff. I didn't correct you because I don't discuss my company at social events. Richard was looking at Amanda with confusion. Why is Maya at table 22? She should be seated with family or with our executive team. She has higher security clearance than most of my board members. I didn't know, Amanda said weakly. She never told me she had a company. I thought she just did computer repair or something. Did you ask? I said quietly. In 6 years since I founded my company, did you ever ask what I actually do? Who my clients are? The silence was profound. Amanda opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. You could have told me. I tried. Multiple times. Last Thanksgiving I mentioned closing a major contract. You asked if that meant I'd gotten a raise at my computer job. At your engagement party I said I was hiring rapidly. You asked if I was finally getting promoted. You'd already decided what my career was. Richard's expression had shifted to something harder. Let me understand. Maya attended this wedding. She RSVP'd months ago. And you seated her in the back corner. Behind the DJ booth. At table 22. We had limited space, Trevor tried to explain. We had to prioritize. Prioritize, Richard repeated. My son, you just seated one of the tech industry's most influential entrepreneurs. A woman who has personally saved our company hundreds of millions and prevented breaches, at the least important table in the room, while seating country club friends in positions of honor. He pulled out his phone, tapped a few times and showed Trevor and Amanda the screen. This is the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Maya was number 4. This is last year's TechCrunch list, she was number 1. Here's the Wall Street Journal profile. How Maya Chin built the world's most trusted cybersecurity empire before age 35. Amanda stared like it didn't make sense. I never saw any of this. Because you never looked, I said. You heard works with computers and stopped there. You never Googled my name. Never asked about my company. Never wondered why I travel so much. Catherine stepped in. Maya, I'm embarrassed. If we'd known you were here, we would have seated you properly. Your work has helped our company immensely. Richard looked toward the table numbers, frowning. Table 22. Maya, let me fix this. Please join us at table 2. No thank you, I said. I'm fine here. This is Amanda's wedding. I don't want to cause more fuss. But I appreciate it, Mr. Blackwell. But I came to support my cousin. The table doesn't change that. Richard nodded, respectful now. As you wish. But Catherine and I want to meet next week. Proper dinner, to discuss expanding our partnership. Not here. Not at table 22. I'd be happy to. He shook my hand and left. Catherine followed, giving Amanda a look sharp enough to cut glass. Dinner continued, but everything felt different. People kept glancing at table 22. I saw guests Googling my name, suddenly recognizing me. Then came the toast. Funny stories, sweet speeches, and then Richard stood up with the mic. I'll be brief, he said, looking straight at me. Tonight we celebrate integrity and hard work. Maya Chen, founder of Chen Security Systems, is sitting at table 22, clearly a seating mistake. Nervous laughter filled the room. Maya's company has protected Blackwell Technologies for years. Her innovation is unmatched. She even refused a better seat tonight because she didn't want to disrupt the bride's plans. He raised his glass. To Maya Chen, and to recognizing excellence, even when it's seated in the back corner. 300 guests turned toward me. Glasses raised. Amanda cried. Today's tears were not the happy kind. Executives came to table 22 with business cards. People who ignored me earlier suddenly wanted to talk deals. I stayed polite. It was still Amanda's wedding. Later my aunt found me. We didn't know you were so successful, she said. You should have told us. I tried, I said. Remember my Series B celebration? Amanda said it sounded like a boring tech thing. After that I stopped trying. She fell silent. Amanda came over, mascara smudged. I'm sorry, Maya. For everything. For table 22. For never asking. I know, I said. Can we talk after the honeymoon? Maybe. We'll see. I left before the send-off. In the car I checked my phone. 47 new LinkedIn requests. 12 messages from reporters. And a text from Richard. Thank you for your grace tonight. Dinner next week to discuss expansion. Also rethinking how we evaluate talent. You taught us an important lesson. The story spread in the tech world. I gave one interview saying, success isn't always loud. Impact matters more than titles. Amanda sent flowers with a note. I'm sorry I never really saw you. I want to do better. I waited before replying. Some bridges need time. 3 months later my company hit a $1 billion valuation. Forbes put me on the cover. The cybersecurity billionaire you've never heard of. I framed a photo from the wedding. Me sitting at table 22 way in the back. It hangs in my office now, reminding me. Never judge someone by where they sit. Never confuse quiet with unimportant. Never underestimate the person in the corner.